What's going on, everybody? It's Loto-Drandel here, coming at you with a Warframe build video. Today we are going to revisit a weapon that had recently, with a change of hero, been buffed up. I had made a previous video which is now dated, outdated as a result. Today we are going to revisit the Sicarus Prime. And this video we will go over technically two builds. We're going to go over a crit version, which will be 6 forma, because if you want to go over that far, and then we're going to have a status one. And for the demonstration, we will go over the status procs, or status build. So why don't we first go over the statistics? And as you can see, this is a burst fire. We have 25 accuracy, 25% crit chance, crit multiplier of 2, fire rate of 9.38 with a 24 round magazine, 2-second reload speed, 20% status, trigger burst as mentioned, 15 puncture, 15 slash, and 20 impact. So it leans towards the impact, as you can see. Now, as you can see, I have two Sicaruses here, Sicarus Primes. One is a 6 forma and the 3. And the reason for that is, this is the one I had made the original build for, as for crits. The smaller forma here is for the status procs, the status proc one will be using a different build entirely. So why don't we get started with the statuses. So for the build, we have Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion, Lethal Torrent. And for the corpus, we have Jolt and Frostbite for our magnetic procs. Then in Convulsion, that's our magnetic as a whole. And then for Toxin, we went ahead and put in Pistol Pestilence. Now, for our status over here to our left, we have a 90% chance. And as you see, the Rivet Disposition is at a maximum, very strong. And for a preference, I do have a Riven mod. Now this one is probably not the best we could use, but this one is a damage buff, 303.5% damage with a 166.9 impact with some punch through. Now with a negative to status duration. Now again, this is not the best Riven mod, but I do like the damage and impact with some punch through. Maybe I'll re-roll this someday, who knows. Now again, the status chance is very high here. Now you could choose to take this out and put it in something else if you want. Now when you go up against something else, if you want to go against the corrupted or against the infested, you swap out the cold proc, the cold for corrosive. You take out and you swap out the cold for heat. As you see, we have Jolt and Pistol Pestilence and Convulsion for corrosive. And we now have Scorch for the heat, DOT. Now, some could also use the cold, but that usually doesn't do as well. Now, when you go up against the Grineer, you could choose to use this build as well. Or you could also do, since I don't have the build set up here in the third slot yet, you could choose to put in Jolt, Scorch to swap, and you could have your radiation build. Now, some could debate between Pistol Pestilence, or could debate with using the Frostbite. Or if you feel like it, you could always take out Convulsion and have Radiation and Viral together. Now it becomes a player's preference. If you were to use Frostbite in place, though, it would increase your status proc to 95.9%. Again, it becomes whatever your preference is. If you guys like to use a Riven mod and this is not your cup of tea, you could try to get a Riven mod that increases your damage, try to get a multi-shot, and a status chance improvement. This is again, whatever applies to you. Now, if you prefer having crit chance, this would be a 6 forma build. You have we have our Hornet Strike, Barrel Diffusion Lethal Torrent. That's your usual here. We have Prime Pistol Gambit, Prime Target Cracker for your crit damage, crit chance. Now this, again, you'll try to want to get another Riven mod to try to increase, but instead of this, you want to get crit chance, crit damage, and maybe, so on and so forth. You'll want to increase your crit chance, crit damage as much as possible instead of this one right here. So we'll take that off. So again, as mentioned before. So again, I can't stress it enough. So moving along here. So we have our, for against the Corpus, we have our usual here, magnetic procs. Against the Corrupted, we have our corrosive. Against the Grenier, you could use this again, or you could use your radiation. So for our demonstration, we are going to run with the status instead. So we're going to run solo here, and we're going to do a survival run, and we're gonna fight some Corpus again. We're gonna go to Jupiter. We're gonna go into Alara. I apologize, guys, for the what seems like a lengthy video. I did feel that there were some things I needed to cover that may not have been covered in the previous video. Because Sicarus Prime can be used for either side, and I felt like it's something that could be used for one or the other. So let's demonstrate the Sicarus Prime as a status weapon, shall we? They have just shut down all systems. Sicarus Prime, if you guys like to use the dual wielding, you can use this as a dual wield. Activate it when your supply is low. Fallen enemies will drop. And as you see, because of punch through, I can also shoot through the wall. So there we go. As you can see, we're tripping up some status. We're tripping up statuses, and some of the other procs a little bit too. Overall, I think with a proper Riven mod, this weapon is very strong. It can be very strong once again. Back in the day, this weapon wasn't really that great. With the introduction of Riven mods, some of the older weapons that aren't that great can be great once more. As you can see, this weapon could put out some pretty strong numbers. Another good example of that is that I could mention is the Axomati, a weapon that I've seen throughout my fights can put out more damage than a Soma. And there you go. That will take care of the bit of demonstration with the Sicarus Prime with the status build, along with showing the builds of the status and crit. Hope you guys found this video to be a little more informative than the previous. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to let me know what you guys thought of the Sicarus Prime. Again, as I mentioned, this weapon is in the vault, unfortunately. So prices for this weapon will probably be a little bit higher, even though some may have this set at cheaper prices than normal. Feel free to comment, feel free to share this video around, feel free to subscribe to this channel for more. Be sure to hit the bell if you subscribe to my channel so when you know when other videos go up and when I go live. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace out.